Are you mentally prepared to have that huge X on your back all season long, where everybody is going to be coming for you? I mean, I think that's all of us at Texas, and I think we kind of try to shift the narrative. We're going for everyone else. Target's not on our back, we got a red dot on everyone else. DNA and what's the way they treat certain quarterbacks depending on who it is. And they give them grace. They give him grace all the time. And this happens all the time. He's going to be straight. All the Sanders are going to be straight with or without football. You better believe that. You better believe that. I take your mind. Yo, the NFL does not want Shedeur Sanders to be the face of football. And now it's becoming as clear as day that this goes deeper than football. Let's just say that if Shedeur was raised by a single mother, they would have embraced him. To be a black man and raise a successful son is not the thing they want to promote. And Deion Sanders, he sees it. He's been trying to take the high road and ignore the obvious bias, but he's had about enough. See, the league and the media machine are already setting up a plan to crown Arch Manning as the next golden boy, while Shedeur has to fight for every ounce of respect he's already earned. Think about it. Arch just had a shaky season opener at Texas and finished the 14-7 loss to Ohio State with 170 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. But the analysts and the media are already making excuses for him left and right. Meanwhile, Shedeur can throw for over 4,000 yards, make 37 touchdowns, and the same analysts were saying he's overrated and doesn't deserve his spot. There's clearly a narrative being pushed, and it's that the NFL is trying to control who becomes the face of the next generation. Arch Manning, Shedeur Sanders, is it a double standard in the media by the way that they treat them? Hell yeah. One black, one is white. And here's why this runs so deep. This isn't just about Shedeur versus Arch, it's about 2 dynasties. The Mannings are football royalty. Archie, Peyton, Eli, the family is everywhere. Peyton's on TV every week. Eli's got his own show and sponsors love them. They're the definition of safe, all-American, and marketable. Now compare that to the Sanders family. Deion Primetime Sanders. Flashy, confident, disruptive. He's not just a coach, he's a cultural force. Do not allow my confidence to offend your insecurity, because I dress like I dress because I'm confident. I look like I look because he's confident. We walk like we walk because we're confident. I don't even use cologne. Now that this somebody asked me, what is that you're wearing? I say confidence. And Shedeur, same energy. Rolex on the wrist. Confidence. Unapologetic about being the best. GOAT NFL team. Whoever picks me, GOAT athlete, Shedeur Sanders, GOAT musician, Sanders Jr., GOAT actor, Tylo Sanders, GOAT TV show, Coach Prime. Give us your best SI cover pose. Yeah. Also, isn't it funny how it was totally fine for Archie Manning to fight for his son, Eli, but it's a problem and somehow disrespectful for Deion to fight for Shedeur? That's exactly why the NFL and the media machine feel threatened. Because if Shedeur becomes the face of the league, it changes the whole image of what a quarterback is supposed to look like. Because let's not forget, there is not one 100% black-owned NFL team out of 32 NFL franchises. All 32 franchises are owned or majority controlled by white billionaires and family dynasties. There are a few minority stake owners who are black, but none with majority control. But let's get into this Arch Manning situation. Here are the stats. Arch had 17 completions on 30 attempts, about 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception on his debut. Texas scores 7 points in a loss to Ohio State. That's average at best. But when you turned on ESPN the next morning, all you heard were excuses, and all the analysts jumped to defend him. Longhorns coach, Steve Sarachan, also defended Arch and said, it's not his fault that the expectations were out of control on the outside. Even Tom Brady felt he had to defend Arch, and he told Pro Football Focus that Arch did well and that there was simply too much pressure on him from fans on social media and football analysts. You know, a lot of these guys they're so young and they don't with social media and Twitter you can, make someone look so great and you can tear them down so quick. And before it used to be, you have to wait till the paper comes out the next day to make a real evaluation. But in the digital era, it happens in 5 seconds. Even though he didn't have his best game today and they lost, if he uses this to his advantage Arch, he's going to be tougher for it. Meanwhile, Dan Orlovsky blamed the coaches for Arch's shaky debut. And he wrote this on X. Imagine having a generational talent at QB and having the training wheels on all game. You really can't make this up. They are trying to crown Arch and he hasn't done anything. He's literally played 3 games. How do people know he's a generational talent already? Also, last week it was Shedeur's fault, but this week it's on the coaches. Now, let's look at Shedeur's stats last season at Colorado. Over 4,000 yards passing, 37 touchdowns, multiple comeback wins, and he turned a program that won just 1 game the year before into a national headline every week. And remember, he did all that behind one of the worst offensive lines in college, football. Dude was getting sacked 5-6 times a game and still delivering dimes. So, what did the media say to that? Oh, let's see him do it against real competition. He's not ready for the NFL. Stats don't matter if he's not winning in the Pac-12. The mainstream media was literally pushing stories supposedly from NFL insiders claiming that Shedeur is the most overhyped player in history. Well, a lot of people are seeing exactly what's happening here. Shannon Sharpe and U called it out and said point blank that Arch gets a pass for struggling while Shedeur gets criticized even when he's dominating. DNA and which the way they treat certain quarterbacks depending on who it is, and they give him grace. They give him grace all the time, and this happens all the time. It does. And some people will turn a blind eye to it and say, oh, that's not true. They'll come up with some damn conspiracy theory. When it's like right there. It's right there in your face. Right in your face. What are you talking about? Yes, they're going to continue to make excuses for Ryan. Clark also pushed back on the double standard, and he said straight up that Arch Manning is not what they're trying to make him out to be. Ryan wrote, Arch Manning is not a generational talent. People placed expectations on him without any evidence. He's not Trevor Lawrence or Caleb Williams who beat out returning starters as freshmen. Instead, Arch sat being a 7th-round pick for 2 years. He's a good player who will be very good, but let him earn it. Arch has never faced top-level competition. He didn't play highly ball in Louisiana, nor did he compete in the high school QB circuit, so it'll take time, and that's okay. Now, as for this narrative that the Browns are intentionally sabotaging Shedeur, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski denied the allegations and said he's putting as much effort into Shedeur's development as he would in any other rookie. Can you address this sort of persistent narrative that you're trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders, especially after yesterday and not putting him in for the 2-minute? Yeah, obviously, I don't concern myself with outside type of things. But I'm committed to his development just like all of our rookies. So, we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better. And that's what we'll stay committed to. And that's what's important to me. Now, as for Deion's reaction, he said he's not concerned whether the league is sabotaging his sons, because either way, he's already set them up for success, and they'll be fine with or without the NFL. I'm proud of my kids, all of them, and I prepared my kids for any and everything that could possibly happen in life and in sports. That's part of fathering, that's part of parenting, that's part of having a relationship. Be straight. All the standards are going to be straight with or without football. You better believe that. You better believe that. I take care of mine. And I've always have. And y'all know what I mean. You better believe that. Now, what Deion's saying is, you don't control us. My sons don't need your approval. They don't need the NFL machine to survive. They're already good financially, culturally, legacy-wise. If you want stars, you need them more than they need you. And that right there, that's why the NFL feels threatened. Because the Mannings, they play ball with the system. They fit the mold. They smile for the sponsors. They're easy for the league to sell. But the Sanders family, they're loud. They're unapologetic. And they don't bow down to anybody. When Deion says they'll be good with or without football, that's him saying, you can't hold this over us. You can't dangle contracts or endorsements to keep us quiet. We already got wealth, fame, and power outside of your little club. And you know those owners don't like that type of talk. They want black players who play their game, who owe the system everything. But Shedeur doesn't owe them. He's not desperate. He doesn't need to gravel or kiss rings. He's stepping into the league already bigger than most rookies will ever be. Now, the NFL doesn't just want good players. They want safe players. Quarterbacks especially. The QB is the face of the franchise. The guy on the posters. The one they put in every State Farm or Gatorade ad. Now ask yourself, who do the corporations feel safer with? Arch Manning, football royalty, comes from the Manning dynasty that has been attached to the NFL for decades. Peyton and Eli are already on ESPN selling products, doing commercials, smiling for every sponsor in sight. Arch is a ready-made brand. Extension. He doesn't even have to be great yet. The family name is worth millions. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is a black quarterback. Confident, flashy, unapologetic on social media, the son of a father who has openly criticized and challenged the football establishment. Culturally, Shedeur represents hip-hop, independence, and a new kind of quarterback swagger. And that's the stuff that makes corporate America nervous. So it's not just about stats. It's about who fits the face of the league mold in the eyes of advertisers and executives. And yes, we have to talk about race here because history doesn't lie. Every time a black quarterback comes along who doesn't fit the quiet, humble, just be happy to be here stereotype, the media drags them. Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, Colin Kaepernick, they all felt that. Meanwhile, white quarterbacks with far less success, guys like Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel, and now Arch Manning, get chance after chance after chance, hype after hype after hype, even when the results don't match the narrative. That's not a coincidence. That's systemic. The NFL is obsessed with keeping the quarterback position, the most visible, most marketable role, aligned with a certain look, clean-cut, safe, preferably white. That's why Arch gets every benefit of the doubt. And let's circle back to Deion's quote. The Sanders are going to be okay with or without football. That independence is what really threatens the system, because Shedeur is breaking the stereotype of needing the NFL's approval to succeed. And fans are noticing it too. Someone on X wrote, "One thing white America can't stand is a strong black man raising strong black men." If you pay close attention to the comments and negative reviews, the Sanders family hate comes from white America. And someone else said, "This is the unwritten truth. The hate for the Sanders family is wild. We're watching a public butt-breaking attempt. A strong black father and his confident son being punished for not bowing down. When they do it, it's bold. When we do it, it's a problem." Archie Manning openly controlled his son's careers, told NFL teams where they wouldn't play, and was praised for it. His sons were labeled smart, prepared, and their draft stock went up. But Coach Prime and Shedeur, Coach Prime's called overbearing. Shedeur is labeled cocky. Suddenly a top 10 pick isn't even a first-rounder. New York Giants, NFL owners, media. What's the difference between the Mannings and the Sanders? Well, now let me know what you think the difference is. Is it just about who's the better player, or is it racism and collusion? Drop your comments below.